Hey, what's going on, everyone? We got some brand new offerings from Rapala Crush City that we're going to be going over today. And of course, if you're watching this, Merry Christmas. I am assuming I'm posting this one after Christmas, maybe like the 26th or 27th. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I hope everyone has an amazing new year. We're going to be going over a couple of new offerings, including an international bait that has made its way to the United States, as well as new sizes and another new bait that we'll talk about here. So, kicking off, let's kick it off with the international one that has come over. So this one right here is called the Jerk. And if you kept up with us from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube back during ICAST in July, you probably would have seen this one. This was one of the cooler baits that I saw, and this is actually one that I was testing out when I stole it from ICAST all the way through the summer, all the way into the fall here. This has been incredible for dead strolling. This is called the Jerk, and it's not actually, I think, in my opinion, it's not actually a great bait as like a soft jerk bait. This is more of like a great forward-facing sonar minnow and also Ned rig bait. So this is a just kind of standard minnow profile. I mean, there's honestly, I can't really specify anything ultra special other than that the tail is in the horizontal position, not a vertical position compared to the top down of the bait, but it has a great head section. It looks kind of just like a small freeloader, allows easy rolling action, but I found with the Jerk, this is better on a dead strolling rig with just a plain jig head, just letting it go out, penduluming back. So even if you're not targeting largemouth bass, if you're fishing for something on the bottom, especially in deeper water, this is a great option to go with because it has a very subtle action. It just kind of undulates, that tail kind of pulses just a little bit, even just on a dead pendulum. And that's where I think I get most of my bites with this bait. Now, I was also throwing this as a baby jackhammer trailer, and it was so effective because that tail just kind of kicked there. It didn't have too much extra added action to it. I could slow roll it, and the Jerk is also TPE, so you can use this over and over and over again. This bait does have a little bit of a slit in the belly, so your hookup ratio is really good. It doesn't really fold over on itself like a lot of bigger, thicker TPE does. But the Jerk from Rapala Crush City, first one here, and we've got a bunch of different colors. They're all gonna be linked below, so make sure to check them all out, lakeprotackle.com. Moving on, this is another brand new bait. This is the salted Ned Roll. So a little bit different from like the BLT. This guy right here uses a little more of a flat side, and it also uses a little bit of a shovel tail. So the tail is pretty identical on both sides, unlike the actual main body, but this one has two scoops on either side, which allow it to catch a lot of water and still have a good flowy action on it. Now the underside of the bait here uses some ribs, and I think you can see them there. It uses a little bit of a rib section. So depending on how you rig this up on a Ned rig or even a drop shot or like a finesse jig, something like that, you're able to really impart as much action as you want to on it. So if you rig this up with the hook coming out of the flat side or smooth side of the bait, you're gonna have a very flowy action. It's easily gonna move through the water, but if you have it on the other side with all the ribs, as you pull that bait, it's going to catch just a little bit more water. It's going to sit a little bit more still. And the other thing too is if you rig this up flat on a jig like so, as it drags across the bottom, it's going to also pull the ground. It's going to pull whatever you're dragging across, rock, everything like that. Going to slow the presentation down and allow you to fish a lot slower. This is TPE, so it does stand straight up on like a swinging jig head from VMC, Redline. Any Ned head should be able to let it stand straight up like so. So this is one that I personally haven't tested out too much other than throwing it here and there in the test tank and Clark's tank and stuff like that. But it's a really cool bait. I think overall, if you don't have ultra pressured fish where maybe they want just a straight like Senko profile like this, and obviously you can cut that tail off and still get that profile. This is going to be a great option as a Carolina rig trailer, as a jig trailer, as just straight Ned rig. If you've got a little bit more like active fish, this is going to be a great one for y'all to try out, especially here in the winter time. All right, moving on here, new sizes of the Freeloader. These guys right here have won quite a bit of money for a lot of anglers here in the past year in 2025. These are coming in 2 new sizes. We have them available online. Check down below. The Freeloader probably doesn't need any introduction, but for a forward-facing sonar bait, it is absolutely incredible. Now, a little bit more blocky, less tapered action and cylindrical look to it. This one here has a very accentuated left, right action to it. So the Freeloader, originally designed to be a chatterbait trailer by Jacob Wheeler, has really turned into one of those pioneering, I would say not super pioneering, but one of those go-tos for the Crush City crew, as well as anyone along the Tennessee River. Now that they're making bigger sizes, they can imitate bigger and bigger shed. And we also have some bluegill colors, and we also have a color that looks like this right here. This is that morning dawn color. So this right here is a new size in the Mooch Minnow, and the Mooch Minnow grew bigger in this size and then also grew smaller in another size. So the Mooch Minnow has probably been one of the most successful baits in 2025. Of course, Dustin Connell's win at Redcrest, as well as so many anglers that are throwing it. It is a very easy to fish bait. Now the Mooch Minnow uses a very similar head to the Freeloader, where it's pretty blocky. It still has a good side to side, but I think the strength is really in that little tail there. Those little pintails allow it to really do whatever you need it to do. So when you have the pintails on here, it really allows the bait to kind of, even on just like a pull, dead stroll, it allows the bait to have a secondary action. When you take them off, that tail kind of just quivers right there. It is TPE, almost no salt in the sky, so ultra horizontal in the water. That's one of the main differences that I've personally found from the Freeloader to the Mooch Minnow. The Mooch Minnow stays extremely horizontal. The Freeloader typically will tend to nose down if you aren't constantly moving it. So this is one of those ones, if you've got really pressured fish, or you've got fish that don't want to eat because they're so pressured, this is a great option for y'all. So 2 new sizes Mooch Minnow, 2 new sizes in the Freeloader, maybe 3. Can't quite remember, have to double check, but if you come in to the shop here or go online, you can check them all out. Again, check out the new stuff from Rapala Crush City, the Mooch Minnow, the Freeloaders, the salted Ned Roll, not Ned BLT, and then also the Jerk online or in store at Lake Pro Tackle, lakeprotackle.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one here, Lake Pro Tackle. See ya.